Okay. Hey, it's Frank, and it looks like Paul Krugman was on C-SPAN January 30th, 2013. I was able to call in and ask him a question after stating what I had learned about the father of Keynesian economics, Lord John Maynard Keynes. He was a eugenicist. Not only that, he was treasurer for the Cambridge Eugenics Society. Anyway, I related that to Paul Krugman and asked him a question, and I think I upset him and ruffled his feathers because he called what I said stupid, and then he proceeded to lie about John Maynard Keynes right on C-SPAN. So let's go to that clip right now. This is Paul Krugman on the state of the U.S. economy. You want to go to about 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Oh, 8 minutes and 15 seconds in.
I think it's actually central to what's going on right now. I mean, what we need for demand, more sales.
Okay, so here comes my call. Now watch his body language.
And that's where we need to go. And yes, let's work on immigration policy, but that's a whole other different can of worms.
Frank in Largo, Florida, independent caller. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Krugman, this is Frank. You're a proponent of Keynesian economics,
yeah.
And I found out recently that Lord John Maynard Keynes was not only a eugenicist, but he was the treasurer for the Eugenics Society of England. And I was wondering if you read his paper, some social or some economic consequences of a declining population, and are you a eugenicist yourself?
Oh, come on, this is stupid. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that to a close, but it's stupid. He wrote some foolish stuff when he was 18 years old, and it was still basically Victorian Britain. And a lot of people held disagreeable views from our point of view right now. And that's a shame, but that has nothing at all to do with his economic analysis, right? There lots of bad people have had good economic ideas, and unfortunately lots of good people have had bad economic ideas, and that's what we're talking about. If you're going to, I don't think I wrote anything when I was 18 years old that would look terrible, but lots of people probably did.
What about his economic philosophy appeals to you? You write about it a lot in your columns.
Well, I don't think it's a...
All right. Well, you can watch the rest of that, or the whole thing, on C-SPAN's own video. I'll leave the link down below, along with the links to the evidence that I'm going to walk through right now. So let's go to the Galton Institute homepage. This is the University of Cambridge Eugenics Society from 1911 to 1933, whatever, reasons for its ultimate demise. You scroll down the page, and oh, there he is right there. And it says right here, it says, John Maynard Keynes was treasurer of the Cambridge University Eugenics Society during its early years, in addition to his involvement with other societies. What is interesting is that there appears to be no mention in biographies of his connection with the Cambridge University Eugenics Society. The fact that he was treasurer and not just a member of the society indicates he had a keen interest in being involved. He was also a council member of the Eugenics Society in London from 1937 to 1944 and gave the Galton Lecture in 1937 on some consequences of a declining population. In 1937, he was either like 53 or 54, not 18. And let's go to that paper. Here it is. Some economic consequences of a declining population by John M. Keynes. This is a speech that he gave to the Galton Institute, and that's based on Francis Galton, who was Charles Darwin's cousin. And most of it's pretty routine economic stuff for the day, until you get down to section 3, where he talks about the main crux of his paper here, the declining population. What he's saying is that he's quite in line with the old Malthusians in the audience, and he just doesn't want the population to decline too quickly, because that could cause some problems in itself. So, like, here's the last two paragraphs. A too rapidly declining population would obviously involve many severe problems, and there are strong reasons lying outside the scope of this evening's discussion why in that event or in the threat of that event measures ought to be taken to prevent it. But the stationary or slowly declining population may, if we exercise the necessary strength and wisdom, enable us to raise the standard of life to what it should be. That's the cover story, folks. Whilst retaining those parts of our traditional scheme of life which we value, the more now than we see what happens with those who lose them. In the final summing up, therefore, I do not depart from the old Malthusian conclusion. And the Malthusian conclusion is that the poor have to die off in great numbers periodically so that everyone can have a decent standard of living. That's pretty much what Thomas Malthus said. I only wish to warn you that the chaining up of one devil, that is the overpopulation devil, may, if we are careless, only serve to loose another still fiercer and more intractable devil, which would be, unemployment. He goes over it and the rest of it. But you can see that, and you can also go to Wikipedia, which mentions the eugenics of Keynes. It says here he was a proponent of eugenics. He served as director of the British Eugenics Society from 1937, from age 53 and up, not 18, as late as 1946, and before his death, not at age 18, Keynes declared eugenics to be the most important, significant, and I would add genuine branch of sociology which exists. Okay, so on C-SPAN, Paul Krugman called what I said stupid and lied to me. What do you guys think?